boat. Where did all of Justin's money come from? How far do you want to go back? Should we go back when I was a teenager and every single school holiday except for October going to work with Pop? Okay, because I used to go to work with Pop, Reg Purdy. PJ's Boats, it was before it changed to Family Boats. Fair enough. John Smales is a family friend and he owed Pop a favour, but I did paid work 5.5 days a week because a Saturday's a half day. Okay? Every school holiday. And I got paid for it. Pop said it, hide of the way and don't tell your mother you got paid. So I got paid for that. So that's all my teenage years. But then let's go with my teenage years when I actually negotiated my salary package. You know what? Isn't documented proof a wonderful thing? So you can mouth your little cunt mouth off all you want. But documents. So, I'm going to go back to 1999 when I'm 19 years of age and I'm negotiating a salary package with Caroline Wright to work at the Powerhouse. Because I was 19 when I started there. And let me see when I finished because my salary was increased quite a lot. Because I started off at the bottom level, worked my way up. Then was maitre d' in Monty's. I did sommelier for that, when you walk through the reception. So when you go past receptions on your right-hand side, Monty's is on the left, and you walk through that little cellar. There's also out the back, so when you walk out the main kitchens, and you keep going right out past the function rooms, you'll see there's actually a cellar out the back as well. So I was a sommelier for that. Then I worked in the Coal Bunker Bar, made a mean dirty martini that Caroline Wright taught me how to make. So I got my dirty martini taste from Caroline Wright. And then I finished doing functions. So the ladies at luncheon, plus the big, large function rooms that they have there at the Powerhouse, which they had amazing. I did the Millennium Ball. So, also, Melanie Tiberi's uncle, Gino Tiberi's wedding. Gino Tiberi's wedding. I actually hosted that. Okay, there we go. Forgot all about that. And that was on New Year's Eve. So when I finished with doing the hosting there, I was going back and forth. Because I knew Mel. Now, okay, just on the 6th of March, and the 7th, okay, but this is just to do with pay that was for the end of the year when I finished with them. So you're still looking at, just over $816 a week take home. But then, I was 20 at that stage. 19 to 20, I worked at the Powerhouse by Ridges. Also, there's also that other big chunk of money that I got as a bonus, which was over $2,486 when I did overtime. Because all the overtime was paid different. So I used to get, like my salary package plus any extra money. There was no days in lieu at the Powerhouse. If I did overtime, I actually got paid for it, either by cash in hand or there was an extra chunk in my pay packet that you can actually see on my St. George bank statements. Yeah. And I used to do so much overtime, Hey, I'm not going to admit that I did, not pay taxes on a lot of overtime that I've done in my life because back in my day, you used to be able to get cash in hand for overtime. So I did sort of, only ever pay taxes on my main salary and all the other side jobs I didn't. So there's the Powerhouse Hotel. I'm 19 when I was working for them. Left there when I was 20 and I started at the Gazebo Hotel. Now, the Gazebo Hotel, which is on my bank statements, they changed their name. Oh, there's even the watch that you guys bring up, but there it is there listed on my bank statement for the 22nd of June in 2000. So there it is, 22nd of June in the year 2000 was from High Time Watch Specialist in Blacktown. Oh, fancy that. You know what? Like I said, isn't having a paper trail a wonderful thing, you dumb dog shit losers? So where we got here? Okay. Because at the Gazebo Hotel, I remember starting out thinking, oh, geez, that's really low, the salary like I was getting paid per week. But then I was 20. So, because it was just under, what was it, like, take home, something like, I mean, we're still talking about the year 2000. But then I got the extra money paid cash. So it was only what was basically the salary package that was low, but then there was the extra money that was on top of that. Because everything was still, but remember before GST, you had your main salary, but then it was bumped up by cash. Everyone was paying extra cash. That was my day, which young kids today have no idea what you're talking about. So you negotiate your salary package, and that was your salary package for the government. And then your extra money, say, will be paid in that little yellow envelope, and it'll have your time and, you know, how much money's in it, and you'll get that. Because everybody paid part of your salary and the rest was cash in hand. Everyone was doing it. It's been done since time began until GST. Okay? And it was still being done like that when I started the workforce. Part was going through the books and the other part wasn't going through the books. It's always been done, which is what kids today have. Like, young kids have no idea what you're talking about. Well, half my salary is for the books and half wasn't. What are you talking about? No GST. That's how businesses operated. That's how people made money. That's how businesses made money, because it meant they had to pay less taxes, less superannuation, less things like that. Remember that. So, because I remember thinking my salary package was low for the gazebo. They ended up changing its name to the Carlton Gazebo Hotel because it was something like, I don't know, 500 a week or something. But I was 20. And then that was bumped up with the extra pay packet. And then I worked around, I'm trying to find it. Then I worked from midnight to 8 a.m. around the corner at the Albion Hotel nightclub, and that was all cash. Okay, so that wouldn't affect with my taxes. So we don't have to pay more taxes. Well, is it? It's got to be here. I'm reading my bank statement right now. Anyway, so there's that. Oh, there we go. Carlton Hotel. Yeah, so it was about 500 a week, and there we go. And the rest was cash. But then I also worked at the Albion Hotel around the corner and worked at the nightclub from midnight until 8 a.m. I was 20 years of age. Then I was going for the process because I wasn't going to stay there. And I was going for the process of getting my gold gaming license because I interviewed for the host position at Star Casino. That was actually in the year 2000 I interviewed for the host position. Okay, but to have the job, I had to be internal, not external. So they had to move me in internally and then move me across. Sorry, move me in externally, then move me across internally. Yeah, and I've got documents that prove that as well. Oh, I've kept that many piles. Like, my boxes are full of documents. It's not hoarding. It's I guess good housekeeping, you'll say, because I can submit all this to court when I want to say I want to sue your goddamn fucking ass for the amount of money you've cost me the last 11 years. So there's that. Then if you want to go and look, so then Star Casino, $47,730 a year salary package. And hang on, what I'm looking at here. Rent payment, what's this? 55. Oh, okay. Check deposit, $55,314.10. That was back in 2008. Oh, my cash in hand job. That's right. Because one of my cash in hand jobs when I was working for Jeffrey Kremis, was it Kremisco? Kremis? Anyway, the Tough and Glass company, he used to pay me $300 a day. And sometimes he didn't have the cash on him, so he would have to transfer it from the business into my bank account. So on my bank account, that's going to come up as AFGI, and you'll see this. So used to have to do a minimum of 2 days a week for him to keep the job. So that's $600 a week. That's $31,200 a year extra on top of $47,730 a year. Plus, there's a sale of my investment property, 16 Scott Road. There's an $189,000 profit there. Plus, you've also got other money where I had fixed term deposits, and you can see me depositing it into my bank account. Check deposits, 7th of August 2008, $55,314.10. Plus, there's also the deposit I got back when I was purchasing that place in Umina, and I had to leave a $28,000 deposit for that place, and that went back in my bank account. No, I didn't spend any of that money because I already owned all my assets and belongings. So I didn't spend any of the money. It sat there in bank accounts. Sat there in bank accounts doing nothing. Giovanni knew. He knew I had all this money sitting around and I wasn't spending it. I wasn't going out. I wasn't doing anything. It was just sitting there doing nothing. Because I was saving that so I could have a good life in America. It was sitting around doing nothing. Now, one thing Giovanni said that was true in the last 11 years. So, Justin, you leave your bank statements across the dining table. Like when I'm sitting up and I'm making sure that all of my bank accounts, like the 3 in each bank account, plus, so you've got, I set them out exactly identical. So I've got more than one bank account. I set them out identical, everyday banking, savings, locked savings, and then a fixed term deposit. So I leave them all laying around everywhere. He goes, because he remembered from when he met me, he stayed over one night, got up and saw that I had 140,000 just in one of my bank accounts alone. So he says, so when we separated, he said, so you've still done the same behaviour, but people have been coming in and going into your place, like those deadbeat druggos, those ICE users. He told me this back in 2017. Because anyone could have grabbed your bank statements, anyone could have seen what you had in the bank, the way you leave it like a boardroom table on the dining room table when you're going for your stuff. And seen how much money you just had sitting around doing nothing with. Let alone, he's like, I bet you showed, you know, Mark Henner, the safe, how much money you had in your safe. Yeah. So I want it back. Every cent. I don't care about these organisations. I don't care about these people. We're not just talking about $200,000, Carol, in savings. It's a lot more than that. Oh, and by the way, it was actually over 140,000. So we're actually talking about just in one bank account alone. I can provide all these documents. I can provide documents of several bank accounts. However, just in one of my savings accounts alone, in 2008, 2009, there was, where's my glasses? Okay, 140,000, hang on, where is it? $140,474.54. 140,474. My eye keeps going to one more. $140,474.54. Would you like me to actually screenshot that for you and send it to you? But my mother knows this because she knows how much money her son was making and how much money I made from their house and how much bank accounts I had. And, oh, my shares, Mum. Oh, thanks. Oh, so wonderful. You're going to die and leave no legacy, because your son got fucked over by the Australian government when he lived in America. You see, my shares, now I made sure I caught up and looked at the value of my shares back in June 2018 before so this one I'm going to give you is just one group of shares. I've got several groups of shares, as you should know. I've owned shares since a teenager. Thanks, Mum. Well done. So June 2018, one group of shares was valued at $11,402.07. Okay, not that much, just under 12,000. So not a lot of money, 12,000. But when you look at it, that's like one of a shitload of groups of shares that I've got. I thought, no, I won't sell that, because when I come back to Sydney, I'll have that, if I need to sell, if I need money, I'll have that to live on. But you know what happened during COVID? The Australian government apparently didn't know where I was. So they sold my shares out from underneath me. And they sold them at the lowest price possible, because that's what the little cunt government does. And I lost $10,000 off that group of shares. I told you, Mum, when I found out when I got back to Sydney, that they sold my shares and sent it to ASX. And I'm looking at them going, are you going to be kidding me? They're worth over they're worth well over $10,000 for that group of shares. Why'd you sell them this low? Oh, it was during COVID. There was, the stock market crash. It's like, why'd you sell them to begin with? We didn't know where you were living. Bullshit. I asked you for a fucking solicitor then, Mum. How many times did your son have to ask his goddamn fucking mother, who worked in a fucking legal office her entire life, talk to your ex-boss? This is bullshit. Wait, and not just for one legal firm, no. Ever since you got with those fucking weirdos and started behaving like your deadbeat, pathetic houso cunt of a sister, you've turned weird, Carol. Ever since you started behaving like that fucking little scrubber piece of shit, Robin Childs and her fucking daughter. We used to laugh at them once. Ever fucking since you started behaving like her. This shit's gone on. No. Was it 2011, wasn't it? Or 2010, when you left the law company because the law company folded. When you were CEO of the law company working for Michael McHugh. What, you can't ring Michael McHugh? Michael McHugh loved me growing up. His wife, Carolyn McHugh, was a teacher. His son, Leo McHugh, who I was close to, we went and saw Jazz at the Seymour Centre in 2007 before I was mugged. I just lost contact with him after I was mugged. Yeah. Well, you can't just ring Mark and say, Michael, you remember my son, Justin, don't you? Should. He's having these issues since this fucking little scummy cunt organisation lied about him in 2015. Can you deal with it? Scummy pieces of fucking shit that need to be dragged through the fucking concrete. Oh, you were a decent mother once when you had the balls to take on these types of people. I don't care about people, groups and organisations. Money is the only currency. I don't give a shit if the homeless die on the fucking street. That's my goddamn fucking money that I worked hard for. You're my fucking mother. Do the right thing by your only children. Oh, and wait a minute. It's not just the law company, because you're telling me that you didn't keep in touch with PK. PK's married to a good barrister. What, when you were working for Lyons Barnett Kennedy? Oh, so you didn't keep in touch with PK because she was one of your good friends. So you've got Lyons Barnett Kennedy, PK, she used to live up in East, and she was married to a barrister. That old receptionist of yours. Oh, wait. There's also Margie Clay. You might have had to eat humble pie here because when it comes to shares, Margie Clay, your secretary from before we were even born, her husband Ross Goodridge would know exactly how to navigate around this when the government screws you over because he had the same, he had the thing. He had some similar to that, but he lost millions. I lost 10,000. He lost millions. Big difference. Okay, still scheme of things. So he knows, Ross Goodridge knows exactly how to navigate around that to get that back. Okay? Margie Clay, you might have eaten a humble pie. Your sister Marianne was still in touch with her. Miriam Mahowski, there we go. What? You know, that bitch can't just wake up to herself once and think, hang on, maybe I should be standing up for my own nephew. He is my nephew. You know? And go and speak to her boss. Oh, wait, she doesn't keep in touch with any of the other solicitors when she worked for Locker Riley McHugh? What? Those barristers aren't still... I'm going to walk away from that amount of money for what? For a person? Oh, wait, for friends. Oh, give me a goddamn fucking break. Nothing's worth more money than money. Oh, and to add with that, I bet you it's your little cunt fucking niece, Christy Childs, little houser, deadbeat, brainless idiots. Your fucking sister. Oh, God, wasn't that a thrill to be around growing up? Yeah. Wonderful. I bet you it was those fucking bastards. Carol, wasn't it? Well, look at this. When I spoke to Melanie Tabiri last year, she's like, oh, but, you know, on your deathbed, you're going to want your friends, and family around you. What are you going to do? Like be, you know, grasping hold of your money and, you know, antiques and things? I'm like, yes. If I was on my deathbed, I want to be in my place around my assets, my belongings, and looking at my bank accounts. The fuck are you on about, woman? You obviously don't know me. If I'm dying, you think I want friends and family around me? Oh, please. God, then I know I'm going to hell. Are you fucking kidding me? When I'm dying, I'm going to be like, well, that bank account over there has got a good nest egg in it. I've got this amount in it. The fuck is wrong with you? Behaving like some socialist, communist piece of low-life shit. You think some libertarian society bullshit? That fucking Melanie Tiberi, oh my God. You know what? As soon as you told me that she was friends, I've only met her really in 1999 in Kath Tiberi. I was like, oh my God. Oh, she's a scrubber. She went to school with Shane and Chrissy Childs. As soon as I was like, oh gosh. I mean, they're our cousins. We had to put up with them. But she's from Vegemite Village, isn't she? Like, my mother made her money, what she has, because she worked for it. Her mother didn't. She got it from Brian. And that's true. Because Brian got the contracts to build the tar for the runways. I'm not being nasty, I'm just saying the truth. I mean, Brian he got the big contracts to do that tar business that he had. The big tar company that he used to have, he was doing the runways. That's where all the money came from. He got the contract. So, yeah, they're not from it. They're not brought up in it. She's dragged up like Chrissy Childs is dragged up. Okay? They didn't live like that always. I don't mean that to be nasty about them. I'm saying the fact. You know? So, yeah, no. I think I would much prefer to be looking at my life going, yeah, well, that's in over there. I've still got those shares, I've got those assets, those belongings, those antiques, which I don't, the nice antiques are left in America, and bank accounts full of money. I'll die in peace. Yeah. And I'm not fucking dying. Who started this shit? I heard all this rubbish back from my fucking hairdresser. I go to get my hair done and she's like, are you dying? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not dying. I mean, besides the fact that everybody's fucking dying. Everyone's dying. I mean, from the moment you're born, you're dying. I'm like, what the hell has been spread around since goddamn fucking 2015? I've had to scream at useless pieces of pathetic shit organisations and say to them continuously, the information you have is wrong. I'm Justin Mark Fleming, and I'm telling you, what you've got noted down there is based on your opinion or theory or some gathered information that you've gathered from unreliable sources, and I'm telling you, remove it, because it's actually not true. No, they didn't. 11 years? If you were a decent mother, you'd be going to every law firm in Tamworth and saying, right, that's bullshit, that's cost my son enough money. He needs to take on these fucking organisations until there's nothing goddamn fucking left of the pieces of shit leftist scum.